Sometimes they come up big like that. Meeting streaming on YouTube. Oh, I actually.
Take a look at the screen.
Oh, Bunny.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, are we on?
Yeah.
We're on. I'm going to turn off our mic.
Yeah, turn off the mic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good afternoon, everyone. I take it you can hear me okay. Perfect. Well, we will go ahead and get started in just another minute or so. As we say back east, talk amongst yourselves.
That doesn't sound authentic.
Let's see here. Happy birthday, Susan.
Thank you very, very much.
Welcome, everybody. There's still a few people, looks like, logging in, so we'll give it another 30 seconds or so before, and then we'll get started. It's good to see such a good crowd so far. All right, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this month's State of the Business meeting. It's wonderful to see so many of you joining us virtually this month. As most of you probably know, and as many of you have participated in, we've been holding several COVID vaccine booster clinics for residents, team members, and contractors over the course of the last few days and weeks. And we are grateful for Dana Concepcion, who's the infection preventionist here at the Terraces de los Gatos. We thank her for finding a pharmacy partner that was willing to work with us and provide on-site booster clinics here at the community. So thank you, Dana, for coordinating those. And we appreciate all the hard work that you've put into making those successful. Due to one clinic taking place today in the GRA, the GRA was unavailable, and we considered meeting outside again, but due to the uncertainty of the weather these days, we thought it would just be safest to meet virtually. So thank you for logging in here to the Zoom meeting. And thank you to those that are joining us through TLG TV on your televisions at home. Throughout the duration of the meeting today, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, feel free to send them through the Zoom chat feature. We'll also make time throughout the presentations and reports to answer any questions that you may have. And then hopefully we'll have time at the end for any additional questions that may come up. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any members of our Community Advisory Board that are joining us today. We thank you for all that you do to support our community. Would also like to thank any members, any and all members of the Resident Council and the various resident committees that play such an important role in our day-to-day success as a community. I thank all of you for being here today and for all that you do for the community. We look forward to recognizing some specific resident committees in the coming months once we meet back in person again, hopefully next month. So thanks to all of you, and we look forward to recognizing some of the specific committees in the coming months. Let's see, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, if there's any new residents or family members or team members that are joining us for the first time, welcome, and we are very glad that you're here with us. With the occasional exception, we always meet on the first Thursday of each month at 3:30 p.m. Unlike today, we generally meet in the GRA, the Glen Rouse Assembly Hall, and we hope that you can continue to join us for State of the Business meetings in the coming months. We aim to make these meetings as informative as possible, and hopefully they are valuable use of all of your time. And you're always welcome and encouraged to join. There's quite a few things to go over today, but without further ado, I'll actually turn the time over to Christy McKinney, our Human Resources Director, for a report from Human Resources.
My apologies, Bradley. I've got team members coming to my door for open enrollment, so my apologies.
Oh, we could come back to you a little later.
I'm good. I'm good now. So thank you. I'm just sorry I wasn't here right away. So welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's enjoying their day so far. Human Resources is very busy right now. We are involved with getting all of our team members vaccinated for flu. We had a flu shot clinic, I don't know if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So we're busy getting everybody vaccinated, which was a good thing. I was glad we were able to hire a third party that could come in and help us, so the nurses didn't have to do that and they didn't have to go off site to get it done. We're also in the middle of open enrollment, which is all of our medical, dental, and vision benefits. So we are in that process now, and then any changes our team members will be able to make, and then they'll get their new benefits in January. So we have over 200 team members. Not everybody's benefited, so it keeps us really hopping over in HR. So for new hires, since we met last, we've hired 3 new team members. one person in maintenance, one person in medical records, and then the sous chef that Jerry spoke about last time started in dining services. We are in the process of bringing in 7 new hires. So 7 new hires have accepted offers. We have 2 dishwashers. We have 3 waitstaff team members, 1 caregiver in the lodge, and then 2 concierge that will be working in our health center. So very excited about those team members joining the team. And for our anniversaries, we have 16 team members that have worked here over 5 years. So we have 7 that have worked 5 to 10 years. We have 3 between 10 and 15 years. We have 3 that have worked between 15 and 20 years. 1 person's right at 20 years. And then the last one is at 27 years. So we have a lot of longevity again this month you're seeing from our team members. So very excited that they join us each and every day. Our turnover, again, that's always kind of a moving target. Last month, we were at about 19%, and we're just about the same as well. So that's where we're at with human resources. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves and ask your questions to Christy, or if there are any, you can send through the chat.
Chrissy, it's Shell, and I just wanted to thank you for all your hard work and thank your team. And I'm so glad to hear that you've got 3 new waitstaff people. It will help relieve those in the waitstaff now. Thank you.
Oh, yes, definitely a team effort, and residents are a big part of it because team members will want to come here if they feel valued and appreciated. And I know that you all do that with our team members. So thank you for your part that you play as well. That is really important.
Christy, do we have any progress in the health services administrator search?
I will let Bradley speak a little bit more about that, but I know there's definitely movement in terms of sourcing candidates and looking for people, but I know he has a few more details on that. Lastly, before I forget, thank you for those of you that have turned in your recipes. And I know probably somebody's going to be upset if I say, okay, it's not too late, but if you really want to turn in your recipe and you haven't done it for our cookbook, you didn't hear it from me, but if you want to turn it in, please let me know as soon as possible. And we want to make sure everybody gets captured in our cookbook. Anybody else? And then I can pitch it back to Bradley to answer that HSA question, Health Services Administrator. All right, well, I'm sure I will see most of you again in the next couple of days, but if not, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You too, Christy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christy, for that report. And thank you for all that you and your team do. Linda, to your question, we are continuing the search for Health Services Administrator. We aren't necessarily very close to making any final decisions yet. But we have certainly been meeting with several individuals, met with a potential candidate this morning, and we have a panel interview with another candidate who's gone through a couple of initial interviews already. And that candidate will be here at the community tomorrow morning. And so there's movement, as Christy said, but we haven't made any final decisions yet. So the hunt continues. One thing that I am excited to share on the subject of recruitment and human resources in general is that we've actually made the decision that we will be adding an additional team member to our human resources team This hasn't been formally announced to anybody, including our team members yet. But we will be posting a new position within the next day or two, and hopefully begin interviewing immediately. And this new position is a position that we haven't previously had, and they will be working closely with Christy and Andrea in the Human Resources Department, and their primary responsibilities will be recruitment, interviewing, pre-employment, working with our new and incoming team members through the pre-employment process, to help make sure that we have somebody whose primary responsibility is doing things like making sure we contact candidates that apply literally within minutes after they submit their applications, getting interviews scheduled and carried out as quickly as possible, and helping all of the prospective and incoming team members to move through all of the sometimes tedious and frustrating pre-employment steps that were required to have those team members go through. So we're excited to add that position. We don't have a person in mind for that position yet, but as I said, it will be posted within the next couple of days, and hope to bring that person on, whoever it is that we find, as quickly as possible, who will help us to be hopefully even more successful in our efforts to recruit the best talent available.
Bradley,
Yes.
is one of the requirements for that to be multilingual?
Can you say that one more time? I lost this.
One of the requirements for the position to be multilingual?
It is not a requirement per se, but it is something that we know would be very valuable. Any other questions before we move on?
Will you repeat questions when they get asked?
Oh, great. Yes, the question that was asked was if a requirement for that position will be that the candidate is multilingual. And it's not a formal requirement, but it would definitely add tremendous value. And that's something that we'll consider as we go through the interview process. All right. Well, thanks again, Christy. And we will now turn the time over to Vincent Foresta, Director of Buildings and Grounds, for his report.
Thank you, Bradley. Updates from Buildings and Grounds. Update on our fence in the summer courtyard. During the last storm that we had, a portion of the fence blew over. We've temporarily put it back up in place for now, but it is in need of being replaced. I'm currently in the process of meeting with fencing contractors to design and obtain estimates to replace the entire fence. I hope to have this completed by hopefully the first quarter of the new year, but it may be longer depending on the situation. Paper towel and toiletry dispensers. I'm currently working on replacing all paper towel dispensers in all common areas throughout the community. These new Torque dispensers will help save costs on paper products and will help to reduce much of our paper waste. Today, almost 90% of Torque's packaging is made from renewable resources, such as paper or cardboard, which is recyclable. The remaining 10% used for plastic packaging, with the ambition to use 30% recycled plastics. Torque's ambition is to have 100% recyclable packaging by all products by 2025. I should have these new dispensers installed before the end of this year. We're very excited for that. For our fellow swimmers, we've just acquired a new pool suite to maintain our pool. The pool should be looking better than ever when we start using it tomorrow. And lastly, for those of you who may not have noticed, the frogs have made a return to the fountain courtyard. And we hope that you're enjoying their whimsical leaps back into the fountain. This concludes updates from Buildings and Grounds, and I will be around to answer any questions after the meeting.
Vincent,
Oh, or now.
Vincent,
Yes.
the Crows have a new game. They've discovered the rocks on the roof and how much fun it is to drop them on the skylights and listen to the sound. Is it worth putting a few dead crows around again?
Certainly, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So yeah, we can try that. And I've placed, we've had owls out there and used some other solutions to deter the crows. So,
Whatever.
but yeah, we'll look into that.
Vincent, for consideration, and walking around, especially in some very upscale housing, instead of crows, they have a little laser thing that rotates, kind of like a lighthouse on a pole up there. And those lights apparently are tuned to dissuade birds from occupying the rooftops. So I don't know if you've heard of that, but I can grab a picture next time I'm out walking and show you what they look like.
Sure, yeah, we'll look into all methods that we can to help deter these crows. I do know around this time of the year, though, possibly start nesting, and they're very protective of their baby birds. So, but we'll look into solutions for this. All right. Thank you. And again, I'll be around after the meeting to answer any other questions that may come up.
Thank you, Vincent, for that report. And thank you for all that you and your team does to help keep the community clean and safe, secure, and comfortable. And I'm glad I thank you on behalf, I think I can say safely, of all the residents. Thank you for creating a space for our beloved fountain court frogs to return home. Appreciate it very, very much. Next, we will have the privilege to hear from, I guess it's a privilege, we'll call it a privilege, from Jerry Austin, our Director of Dining Services. So Jerry, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to see everyone again this month and to be able to talk about some things which are happening in the world of food service. I wanted to start my report with some news which highlights our own executive chef, Chef Glenn. Recently, our community has been chosen as a location to train new executive chefs, which are hired to work within any of the human good communities in Northern California. Currently, Chef Glenn is training our newest chef, recently hired for our sister community at the Terraces of Los Altos, excuse me. This gentleman will be with us through a portion of this week and then some of next week as well as he goes through some of this training. I think this says a lot about Chef Glenn's abilities and his performance. He's recognized as being the model for what we would like all communities to operate with regarding to what we call best practices. We're very happy for Chef Glenn and the fact that he's been recognized with this role and responsibility. However, I'm not at all surprised that he was chosen, as I see every day the effort and skill that he brings to the kitchen and the team members. So staying somewhat with Chef, I also wanted to let you know what it looks as if we will have the appropriate turkey for our upcoming Thanksgiving meal. Chef has been working tirelessly in his efforts to find and secure product for us to work through the current supply chain issues. We face these every day, as we know, but today I wanted to recognize Chef for his efforts, which will find the resources that we need to fill our needs when our traditional sources are not working. We've been able to procure enough whole turkeys to meet our needs for all levels of dining and are confident that you'll enjoy your Thanksgiving meal. Speaking about Thanksgiving meal, I want to let you know that considering the visitor situation being what it is in the dining rooms, we want to create a meal which could be ordered by residents who are having family or visitors join them in the residences. Normally, we do not offer pickup for delivery on the holiday meals, except for sick trays, of course. This Thanksgiving, we wanted there to be an option for a guest to join you for your meal in your apartment if you choose to do so. To do this, we'll be putting together an advance order form, which will give you the same option as what we'll be serving in the dining room on Thanksgiving Day. We will need this filled out and submitted by a date, most likely at least a week before Thanksgiving. This will allow us to ensure we have the appropriate number of containers and food to meet the demand and the amount of people that we'll have. The meals will be packaged in a way that will allow the food to be served family style. For instance, if you order 4 orders of mashed potatoes, you'll receive 1 large container that will have 4 servings within the container. This will reduce the number of containers we need to use, but it'll also create a more family style atmosphere for dining rather than looking like everyone is eating out of a takeout box. So just to clarify, when you place your pickup order, you'll need to have your name and the number of guests you'll be feeding on the order. Only orders which have guest meals will be set aside for pickup. All the other meals will need to go through the service buffet as we've done in the past. With that, we absolutely can and will package a meal for you to take back to your department if you so wish. However, we do encourage you to sit and enjoy this special meal in any of the dining rooms. Please watch for more information coming soon with more details as well as the actual order forms. Once we have these ready, we'll be placing one in each of your mailboxes and as we approach the holiday. Lastly, I just wanted to give a quick reminder that the farmers market has been moved indoors due to the change of weather. And also just a note that it is a bit smaller as more items are no longer in season. I also wanted to remind everyone that we do close the farmers market at 11:30 now. And this is so that we can move our team members back into the dining room as the lunch service starts to begin and they're able to assist. As always, we thank you very much for your feedback we receive in the dining rooms and encourage you to continue to fill out the comment cards when you can. And thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon. As with Vincent, I will be here also after the meeting and be happy to take any questions. Thanks.
How often a month do you have farmers market?
We do that every other week.
Hey, Jerry, is the Thanksgiving order form going to be available on TLG Connect or will it just be paper forms?
That's a good question. I'll work with Bradley. I know there's some folks that don't like the paper form. I think that we're still going to need it back though. So we're going to have to use some sort of form of paper.
Okay.
It'll be difficult to work that into the online ordering with the way that things are currently set up.
Jerry, would you mind repeating the question if for those that may have missed it?
Yeah, apologies. The question was, can the Thanksgiving order meal order form be placed on TLG Connect? And my thoughts are on that probably not. We're probably still going to need to have a paper form just because of the way that the online ordering is currently set up. And we're going to have that order form back in order to keep track of where the orders are.
All right. Thank you, Jerry, for that report. And also thank you and your team for all that you do. If you haven't done so already, please let Chef Glenn know that I have heard wonderful feedback about the prosciutto flatbread. I don't know when that was served, and sometime in the last a day or two, I believe, but I've received great feedback specifically about that item. So great job, Chef Glenn. We typically at our State of the Business meeting also receive a report from Linda Price, our Director of Sales and Marketing. Unfortunately, she had to step away a little early today, so she's unavailable. But she asked me to provide a report on her behalf. So all levels of living are at budgeted occupancy goals. And our entrance fee goals for the year has been met. And let's see, our current occupancy in Residential living is 170 out of 175 apartments. We have had 3 physical move-ins within the last week and a half or so. And I'm not sure if any of our new residents are on the in the meeting today, but if you are, feel free to unmute yourselves and say hello. We have Carol and Tom Boyce, who have moved into F101. We have Marlon Smith, who has moved into N357. And we also have Lavon and Dawn Hardy, who have moved into D129. So welcome to our new residents here at the community. The 5 remaining apartments are all under renovation and all of them are reserved. We anticipate that 4 out of those 5 will be physically occupied by the end of the year. All are scheduled to move in the month of December. We have Mr. Shi Jung Chang, who will be moving into Q168, the beginning of the month. We also have Carol and David Bamberger moving into R269. Ms. Sylvia Meltzer is going to be moving into E123. And Ms. Helen Janetsky will be moving into M150. All of those again in the month of December, and then we anticipate the last remaining apartment, Helen Cockram, will be moving in January. In the lodge assisted living, our occupancy is currently 43 out of 45. One of the 2 remaining available apartments is reserved, and the second one we anticipate will be shortly. And in memory support in the Grove, we have 15 out of our 16 apartments in the Grove are occupied, and the last one is reserved and will be occupied soon. And as of today, our occupancy in the health center is we have 50 of our 59 beds in the health center are currently occupied. Although she's not with us today, I just want to thank Linda and her team members, Jana and EJ, for the wonderful work that they do. It has certainly been a challenging year in so many ways, and they have truly done an exceptional job. And it is looking like we're going to finish out the year very, very strong. Any questions about anything sales and marketing related that I can do my best to answer on Linda's behalf? Okay, good, because I was nervous that you'd have questions that I would not be able to answer, or at least not as well as Linda would. Linda will be back with us tomorrow.
I have a
Oh, go ahead.
question, not related to Linda, but related to apartments. Why does it take so long to renovate apartments? I see some that are in various stages of renovation or suspended renovation for at least 3 months.
So the question, thank you, Mr. Louise, was why does it take so long to renovate the apartments? Several apartments that seem like they've been in various degrees of renovation for several months. I don't know if Vincent, if you want to comment on that at all.
Sure. Yeah, lately, just with the getting permits and approvals from the town of Los Gatos, has definitely slowed down a lot of our progress from what we were used to doing before. So scheduling appointments with them, waiting for their approval, And then also just time and materials. Jerry's finding this difficult in his department, and we are too in maintenance sometimes, and acquiring materials to finish these apartments out in a timely manner. So we've had a lot of challenges, but things are getting better for us, and we are making strides to get these apartments completed a little bit sooner than they were being. So things are improving for us, and we still generally try to have 60 days turnaround time, but things get our way.
Susan Lane's apartment has a stack of wood and various things in the balcony that's been there for months.
Right. Some of these apartments, although they may be vacated, may not have been reserved. So they put on kind of the back burner. We focus on other apartments and use those apartments as staging apartments for our materials and things.
Okay. Yeah, they represent the lost income, so it'd be good to get them finished as soon as possible.
Yes, that's always our goal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. And thank you for that great question. Thank you, Fred. Okay. As many of you know, or as you probably know, Sandy, our resident services director, she typically provides a report as well. And she is out this week. She'll be back on Tuesday of next week. There's a few additional items that I have to report on, and then with additional remaining time, open up for more questions. As many of you know, we have been searching for a spiritual care director here at the community, and we are continuing the search for a permanent candidate for that role. But I'm very happy to let you know that Edna Andres, who's the spiritual care director at the Terraces at Los Altos, is now providing spiritual care support and services here at the Terraces of Los Gatos as well. There'll be opportunities to meet her in person in the coming weeks. But I just wanted to share a little bit about her. So Edna Andres is an ordained elder in the United Methodist tradition. She received her Master's of Divinity degree from the Pacific School of Religion just up north in Berkeley, California. Edna has been with the Terraces at Los Altos as the chaplain and now spiritual care director for over 8 years. And while working at TLA, she earned her credential from the International Coach Federation as a professional certified coach. She's also completed 5 units of clinical pastoral education. She is born and bred in the Philippines, and Edna was brought up by her parents to respect, obey, and love the older generation in their family. Her passion is working with all people and encouraging them to discern their gifts and graces and use them to their full potential. Edna's family in Milpitas includes herself, her husband, her 2 grown sons, and her 2 grand dogs. So you'll receive more information about Edna and how to contact her in the coming days. And some of you may have had a chance to meet her already. And I've been spending a little bit of time with her, and I'm super excited and appreciative that she is here with us. She'll be with us about 3 days, 1 full day and 2 half days throughout the week for the time being. So I think in the weekly updates that will come out tomorrow morning, we'll have more details about how to contact her and what her schedule will be. Also, you should have all received a letter earlier this week that outlines, it's your favorite letter, I know, of the year. It's my favorite letter to send out every year. That outlines the monthly fee increases that will take effect on January 1st. I am happy to report that at least so far, everyone's been very polite and understanding of the fee increases, either that or maybe you just haven't read them yet. Either way, I would like to invite everybody to come to our budget presentation that will take place on Tuesday morning, next Tuesday, November 9th at 10:30 a.m. In the GRA. It will also be broadcast through Zoom and on TLG TV. But if you have questions or you'd like to join us in person, we encourage you to do so. It will be recorded as well, and then we will make it available afterwards through TLG Connect and also on TLG TV as well. So in that presentation, we will review our year-to-date financial performance of the community, and we will also discuss kind of a high-level overview of the budget plan moving into 2022. Next, there's another important event that I'd like to make sure that everybody is aware of, and that will actually take place tomorrow, Friday at 1 p.m. In the GRA. We will have the opportunity to meet some of the team from a group that we have partnered with called Pine Park Health. Pine Park Health, starting next week, will be available to provide primary care as well as urgent care services to residents at the terraces of Los Gatos here on site. There will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock, there'll be a formal presentation where the Pine Park team will explain their services. They'll explain how to sign up for those that are interested in signing up to receive their services. They'll be able to answer specific questions about insurance providers with whom they are contracted and what services are available to everyone, even those that whose insurance they are not contracted with. After the presentation, they'll stick around for a couple of hours in the Galleria, and they'll be able to have one-on-one discussions with residents and provide additional information and help residents that may be interested in signing up at that time. I want to quickly share a video that will hopefully work. Let's see if I do this correctly.
Hi, I'm Kendall Cannon. I'm a clinical assistant professor at Stanford and the chief medical officer for Pine Park Health. We started Pine Park with the goal of bringing the doctor's office to senior living communities, providing excellent care on site for residents and reducing the need for them to go to the hospital.
How we work with residents is pretty simple. First, we move into a dedicated space on site in a senior living community. Second, Pine Park Health becomes your primary care physician. Third, our care team, made up of doctors, nurses, and care navigators, checks in with the facility every day and with you every week. Fourth, we bring blood work, diagnostics, X-ray, and other tests right to you so you can stay in your residence while keeping up to date on your health.
We've built the company with the exact needs and goals of senior living residents in mind. We don't charge anything extra. Everything is with standard Medicare. Our goal is to provide safer, healthier, and personalized care. And when our residents do better, we do better too.
Hi, I'm
All right, so that was obviously a very high level overview of Pine Park Health. I'm really excited about this partnership. I think it is going to add tremendous value to our community and be a potentially a really, really significant benefit to the residents of our community. So again, 1 o'clock tomorrow in the GRA to learn more. All right, we have made our way almost about 45 minutes through without talking about coronavirus, but I can't go an hour without talking about COVID-19. So I'll make it brief though, just a quick report. We currently have one team member that has tested positive, as we announced earlier this week. The team member remains away from the community. From what I understand, the team member is doing well, and we look forward to their return hopefully next week once they've been cleared per public health guidelines. Any and all close contacts, residents, team members that were in close contact with that team member during their potentially infectious period have all been tested. And no additional positive cases have been identified. So it looks as though it was an isolated case that was contained. We will distribute a community update letter, hoping to get it out by the end of the day tomorrow. It may be early next week or over the weekend. That will outline just really one minor change, which we've mentioned before was coming. And that minor change is that visiting families, family members and friends that are fully vaccinated will be permitted to join in most activities that take place here at the community. Masks will continue to be required and may be removed only when actively eating or drinking. And at this time, this does not include resident dining rooms, because all residents are encouraged to enjoy their meals in the, I guess you call them the public dining rooms. We want to remain respectful of those who may not feel comfortable with outside visitors eating maskless in the dining room. So this will change, and once again, visiting friends and family will be able to join residents for meals in the dining rooms. However, we are not quite there yet. These next few weeks, especially as we enter the holiday season, will be very telling and will indicate really which directions we'll be able to go. If we sort of compare the trends of COVID-19 this year compared to last year, we're on a very similar pattern as we were last year. The overall numbers are a little bit lower, but if we continue as sort of the same course as we were last year, hopefully, there will be hopefully there won't be, but like last year, November and December were the worst months of COVID-19. So hopefully that will not be the case, but we need to remain vigilant as we enter the next few weeks. And also, another announcement. Most of you are probably aware of U.S. News and World Report. For 30 years or more now, they've been known for their rankings in various industries, education, hospitals, hotels, etc. They have added a new ranking to U.S. News and World Report's rankings, and that is best senior living. And they're preparing a best senior living survey with the goal to help family members and prospective residents of senior living communities to choose among the top senior living providers across the country. And so we certainly want to be included in that list. So we are asking all residents and family members for your support in completing this survey once it becomes available, in the hopes of including the Terraces of Los Gatos among the list of best senior living communities in the area. The survey itself, I believe it will be exclusively available for completion online. And there's a window of, I think it's 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks in December when that survey will be available. So we'll provide more information between now and then, but I want to encourage participation and thank you all in advance for your support.
Bradley?
Yes.
I just want you to know that we're thinking of a plethora of ideas for you to encourage people to come out and do this. And Flo will talk to you about some of them.
Great. Thank you very much for your help. Mr. Barish. Oh, unmute yourself, please, Mr. Barish, so we can hear you.
Excuse me, at one form or another, a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned Leading Edge asking us to contact legislators. I got another notification today about very large funding being considered and urging contact to legislators. Are you getting this traffic? And maybe any other residents who are on this chat today could let you know if they're getting the information too.
Thank you. I get some information, but in the spirit of transparency, I haven't committed enough attention to it as I probably should. If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Barish, forwarding it on to me, and then I could obviously take a look at it and then potentially make it available for all residents as well.
Right. I thought we could ask now if anybody could pipe up and say it's really conveying the time is of the essence. I think there's some massive budget dollars being considered for help for the senior care.
Clarification, please. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Paul, so could you please give us a little more in terms of details?
Right, background. Leading Edge is the professional association for life care communities. I think it's restricted to nonprofit life plan communities, and they advocate through the normal lobbying channels. And once in a while, they reach out to the residents, but they don't apparently have everybody's email address. And I must have put my hand up at the wrong time somewhere. So I'm getting this, but it's only been 2 this calendar year where they've asked for help.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, well, we will.
I'd like to mention something, if it's okay. If you
Please.
have time. So most people should know by now that I really like to have a party. And being the foundation chair, I've always thought of ways to entertain and make people aware of the foundation. We had the ice cream social. We did some deliveries during the shutdown to apartments. We're going to have a fundraising kickoff, and it's going to be another party. So watch for more information, and I hope you will all come.
Great. Thank you, Judy, for mentioning that. I know a lot of time, effort, and energy is going into these plans. So thank you, and thank you to all the foundation committee members.
Judy, do you want to put something in the rag about this?
I think time is too short. We're going to be speedily moving things along over the next couple of weeks. So, but thank you.
A few more upcoming events and dates to make note of, and all of this will likely be included in the weekly updates that will go out tomorrow. But a reminder, movie nights, Monday night, 6:30, River runs through it next week. Also, our community chat we'll have next week at 1:30. That will be on Zoom. Also next Thursday, the 11th at 2:30, we encourage everyone to join us for a Veterans Day social in honor of our community's veterans. That will be again 2:30 in the Galleria next Thursday, Veterans Day. The following day on Friday is the Turkey Trot. So come on out to the Fountain Court at 10 a.m. Bring your walking shoes, and we will trot around together. And also, let's see, there's a day trip down to Carmel that will take place in 2 weeks, Friday, Friday the 19th. Signups for that trip will open up on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and you can sign up through the activities cube or at the kiosk up at the concierge desk. And last but certainly not least, thank you to all that completed the online survey about the weekly updates. We really appreciate all of the valuable information that we received. Overall, it seems like the weekly updates are a valuable tool, and there are some opportunities that to improve that process. Make it a little easier to read, maybe a little less cumbersome. So over the course of the next few weeks, we'll be making some modifications, and based on your feedback. And so it'll probably look a little different tomorrow, and then a little different the next week, and probably a little different for the next few weeks until we get it dialed into being the best that it can be. And then eventually we'll inevitably make changes again. So,
okay. Bradley?
Yes.
There's one announcement from the auxiliary. On the same day as the trip to Carmel, the auxiliary is going to be having a large half-price sale in preparation for the holidays. There's things there that have never been in the store and are really, really nice things. And it's worthwhile shopping by during the sale hours to pick up the things that you want for yourself or your family. Staff, of course, is invited. There'll be posters up everywhere announcing it, but save the date.
Thank you, Linda, for mentioning that. Again, that's on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the sale, it's 11:30 to 3:30. Is that?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you, Linda, and thank you to the auxiliary for doing that. We've got a few minutes left, and any other questions, comments, or feedback on anything we've discussed or anything completely different, feel free to unmute yourselves and just start speaking, or send it through the chat.
Thank you, Bradley, for everything that you do to keep us rolling along and staying healthy. We really appreciate you and your staff, the whole team. You're doing a great job through difficult times. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. And
I'll second that, Papanastus. I second that.
all right. Any thirds? Any thirds?
Oh, I third that.
No, I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of your kind words of encouragement to our team members. As Christy mentioned, really, you, the residents, play such a critical role in our team member satisfaction. It really has, as you said, it's been a challenging year or two almost now for everybody, for residents, for your family members, for our team members as well. And those kind words of encouragement to our team members, to your neighbors, reaching out and supporting and motivating your neighbors through this last couple of years. It's been really valuable, and we thank you for that.
I have one thing I want to say, Bradley, too. The dining room food has been awesome. It comes hot, and the team members are doing a great job of serving us as quickly as they can. And Jesse's on roller skates, it looks like, most of the time. I just really appreciate what the dining services have been doing, and Chef Glenn and Jerry and Sherry. I hope she's walking soon. I know she hurt herself, and I hope she's going to be on her feet soon. Thank you. It's great.
I would like to say that as well, because I am on a very special diet, and I have found that they really doing a wonderful job for me to get foods that I can eat and that are delicious. And I appreciate the dining service very much.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
So Jerry
I
is
have a-
somewhere.
I have a comment, Bradley. Josh, from the dining room,
Yes.
he will be leaving sooner or later. I think people really appreciate him a lot, and it would be nice to do something a little special for him. He's been around through all the delivery of meals and has good humor, and he's fun, and he's very kind and considerate.
Josh is leaving?
That's not a secret. He's taking an internship. I don't know
Wonderful.
when he's leaving,
Oh,
but
awesome.
in the near future.
He got the email. That's great.
Thank you for that comment, and Jerry, make note. And yes, Josh is fantastic, and we
Yeah.
appreciate him very much.
I think so.
And Jesse, Christy, if you're listening, who handles all of our employee safety, I don't believe he's actually on roller skates, but he is moving fast.
Yeah.
That would be a fun present for him. I think he'd really laugh.
Yeah, we don't want him to kill himself, though.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
he
we
would.
need him. We need him.
He'd be fine. Come on.
What about a jetpack?
Hey,
That's
that's
something
even
better.
better.
Jetpacks for everyone in the dining room. We'll just have to send out new, slightly revised monthly fee increase letters. But you'll get those next week.
It might be more efficient.
Enough.
Thank you all very much for joining State of the Business this month. I appreciate you joining us virtually, and we will see you next month. We'll see you before then, but for State of the Business next month, and we'll be back in the GRA, same time, 3:30 on the first Thursday of the month. Thank you all very much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Bradley.